Greetings from Vishnu Priya. In this PPT, we are going to say about the residential status and conditions in Income Tax Act. In order to check the residential status, it is divided into the residential status must be dealt under individual, HUF, firm, company. So first thing we can see about the residential status of an individual. Before going to the residential status of the individual, what do you mean by the term individual? An individual is said to be the resident in India in the previous year if he satisfies at least one of the two conditions. He must be in India in the previous year for the period of 182 days or more, and he must be in India for the period of 20 days or more during the previous year and 365 days or more during the 4 years immediately preceding the previous year. So the first and the two conditions, as far as this is the basic conditions, and the basic condition at least he must satisfy anyone. That is, he must satisfy either 182 days stay in the previous year or 60 days stay in the previous year and 365 days or more in the preceding previous year. So the next thing is second condition. The period of before going to the next condition, the period of 60 days is extended to 180 days in the following cases. This is called special exemption. An Indian citizen who leaves India during the previous year for the purpose of employment outside India. An Indian citizen who leaves India during the previous year as a member of crew of the Indian ship. Indian citizen or person of Indian origin who comes on a visit to India during the previous year. A person who is deemed to be of Indian origin if he or either of his parents or any one of his grandparents were born in an undivided India. So, as far as resident and ordinary resident, individual is treated as resident and ordinary resident if it satisfies the following additional two conditions. That is, we previously saw the basic two conditions. Either one condition must be satisfied. If the person satisfy any one of the two basic conditions, it is called as resident. The person is called as resident. Suppose if he satisfies with the resident status, he must check another status which is called resident and ordinary resident. Suppose even the any one of the basic condition is not satisfied, the person and individual is called as a non-resident. So individual is treated as resident and ordinary resident in India if he satisfies the additional two conditions. That is, he must be in India at least 2 out of 10 previous year immediately preceding the previous year. And the second additional condition is he must be in India for the period of 730 days or more during 7 years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. And the next one, individual who satisfy at least one of the basic condition under section 6 but does not satisfy the additional conditions under 6 subsection 6. Non-resident, as I already discussed, individual who does not satisfy at least one of the basic conditions who is called as non-resident. So next comes the Hindu undivided family, and Hindu undivided family is said to be resident in India if control and management or of his affairs is fully or partly situated in India. A Hindu undivided family is said to be a non-resident in India if control and management of its assets is situated fully outside India. Residential status of Karta is considered for determining whether a resident family is ordinary resident. Next comes the residential status of firm and association of persons. A partnership firm A partnership firm and association of persons are said to be a resident in India if control and management of its affairs are fully or partly situated within India during the relevant previous year. However, they are treated as non-resident if control and management of its affairs are situated fully outside India. So, as far as company residential status is concerned, under Section 6, subsection 3, an Indian company is always resident in India. Foreign company is resident in India only if during the previous year control and management is situated fully in India. Foreign company is non-resident in India only if during the previous year control and management of its affairs are fully or partly situated outside India. So, residential status of any other person, every other person is said to be resident in India if control and management of his assets are fully or partly situated within India during the relevant previous year. However, they are treated as non-resident in India if control and management of its affairs are situated fully outside India. So, in order to compute the taxable income received in India, so here there are three headings. resident and ordinary resident, resident, non-ordinary resident, heading and non-resident. So Indian income always received in India, accrued in India, deemed to be received in India is taxable under three headings, and accrued to be in India is also taxable. And next one, if the business is controlled from India, it is taxable to the first and the second one and not for the third one. And income from profession set up in India, same category, it is taxable under two headings, and third one it's not taxable. If the business is controlled outside India, it is taxable only for resident and ordinary resident, and it is not taxable for resident and non-ordinary resident and non-resident. And the business which is set up outside India, it is taxable only for the resident and ordinary resident. And other foreign income, it is taxable only for the resident and ordinary resident. So income deemed or accrues or arise in India, that is income from house property, from income from any other asset or capital gain, income from business controlled in India, salary from services rendered outside India, interest income, royalty income, and income from any non-resident Indian is considered as not taxable for three headings. So that's all with the tax calculation for residential persons. Thank you.